So everybody, the First Descendant beta for 1 week is almost over. It ends at the end of day on October 26th, so this is pretty much the final day for it. But the question really is this game the next Warframe killer? Is this game the next Destiny killer? Is this going to be the most popular looter shooter out there on release? Will people love the game? How good is it? These are all questions people have been yelling in chat and comments. They want to know, how good will this game actually be? It seems fun, and that's always a good thing. But longevity of a game is really the important thing, because the last looter shooter that I remember coming out was indeed Outriders, right? That came out about a year, maybe a year and a bit ago, and I think it was received somewhat mid to okay tier. I think it averaged about 6 to 7 on most ratings, and while I believe it sold pretty well all in all in the beginning, it sold millions of copies, I think, right? It sold well all in all. I don't think it ever actually made its money back, and as a live service active looter shooter styled game, right now it has 500 players on Steam charts, and the last major DLC update drop, which was once in every 6 months to a year, that type of drop, right? It was a big DLC drop. It only managed to peak at around, or averaged around 4,000 or so players, and that's not good. So that game is not going to be a long-term game. It seems like on release it sold well, people played it, some liked it, some hated it, and that was about it. I do remember I played Outriders in beta. It was fun, and it plays pretty much exactly like this game, except slower, but it just wasn't good enough. It was too slow-paced and felt too clunky, and I just could not have fun with that. I ended up playing the beta for a while and then just stopping because the game just seemed so not fun for me, and that's unfortunate. There are other looter shooters like this game, such as the Division 2, if you will, which was a similar third-person style shooter, I think, and it probably plays the same. I never played it because, it just wasn't my style of game. So will this really kill Destiny and Warframe? It's possible. I think this game has a lot more going for it than some of the other looter shooters. First off, this game is created by Nexon. Nexon is very hit or miss. They have had some very long-term MMOs such as MapleStory, and then they've had other games just die out within years. That's most of their games, really. They have a decent enough launch and then go well for maybe a little bit, and then they just die out. RIP MapleStory 2, you will not be forgotten. But the game has good bare bones to it right now. It's a good enough game to play, right? That's always the question though. Longevity. It has Warframe styled modding, and it has other game styled gameplay. It's a mixture of all of the looter shooters. And I just don't think that's enough to kill Destiny or kill Warframe, right? It's a really good game. The art style is pretty generic, but pretty. It's generic Korean MMO style. It's, again, don't get me wrong, it's very pretty, but it's just very generic and bland. All the atmosphere and areas look pretty cool, but nothing super hype. The enemies are interesting, cool, but nothing big. The game has bosses, and they're honestly probably one of the more fun things to do if you probably want endgame style gameplay. I'm not there yet for the high-end level 55 bosses, because I don't think those are going to be a beta thing, but we'll have to see on release. So I mean, hey, it has a lot of longevity in that regard. It has stuff to do. My God, we have time, okay? Warframe and this game are trying to share that, it seems. This game has survivals the same Warframe has defense missions the same Warframe has kind of interception, point defense missions the same as Warframe has. This game is just third-person Warframe mixed with, honestly, more Outriders, but faster paced, right? I honestly could not get behind Outriders because of the slow-paced feeling of the combat. People liked some of it, a lot of people bought it, but RIP. It's just the only, the last one I remember that came out. Borderlands 1, 2, 3 are always classic, amazing looter shooters, so I don't think those will ever be bad games as a whole. So those are always chill, but they're not like active developed looter shooters. So yeah, that's why I'm trying not to draw that parallel. But I don't think this game's gonna kill Destiny. I honestly don't. Destiny has so much lore, years, and grinding people have put behind it at this point that people are not willing to lose that. Same with Warframe. And the style of gameplay is similar but different, right? It's more Destiny feeling, honestly, if Destiny was third person. But I don't know if it'll be enough to bring Destiny folk over. Maybe the fact that it is free to play will have a huge boost in longevity, but then that brings a question about monetization. If they start doing gacha pay to win gear, the game will probably fail very quickly, or people just won't care too much. If they keep the pay-to-win microtransactions to a lot of skins, maybe some boosters, maybe like strictly non-PvP, if there is PvP in the game. I haven't like done any or found any yet, but maybe there will be some on release. We'll have to wait and see. But as long as they don't make it super pay-to-win or put gacha pay-to-win mechanics in, God. I'm just saying gacha because MapleStory, Nexon, huge gacha game mechanic type game. The surprise mechanic boxes, surprise style boxes in MapleStory just, man, took so much money from me. But I got some sweet loot out of it, so totally worth it, right? Totally worth it. So a lot of it is going to see how the game releases. Of course, it's still just on beta, has the big issues like the stuttering issue, right? That's a problem, kind of an issue. It has other issues, like it does not run well on lower end machines. So there's just no chance this game will kick the ass of Warframe and Destiny. They're too versatile comparatively, and they already have such a massive fan base. Nexon tends to release decent games, and then if they don't make enough money from it, they just kind of microtransaction the shit out of it in the most negative way possible. So that's why it's a little worrying. I know they said they don't want to do that, right? It seems they want to try to keep it more like Warframe in its monetization cycle. But that kind of means nothing if the game ends up not going well on release. It has a good amount of people playing it. I've seen like most of the Warframe folk and a lot of Destiny folk trying it out, playing it. I know Brozime played a lot of it. I think Liam XP played so much. Oh my god. I kept like just tuning in casually. Dude, streaming like 6, 8, 12 hours. Okay, I can't do that. Not my style. I like sleeping and napping too much, right? But yeah, people are going hard on it and they made a lot of progress. So clearly a lot, like, people are liking it. I've seen a lot of other streamers just going hard, but I don't have time for that. I've got too many videos to make. I commit my time to grinding out constant videos instead of streaming a ton. But I got like 10-ish to 15-ish hours into this game, and honestly, it's a lot of fun. I think it's definitely going to be worth playing through, maybe to the end or to getting a handful of characters. It'll probably be worth playing for a lot of people for at least like a week or month or so. But that's always going to be the question, is how will the endgame longevity be? And I just don't think it'll be enough to kill Warframe or Destiny or anything like that. Warframe's been waning in popularity just because, like, it too suffers from the issue of not having a lot of endgame, but it's on the opposite side of it already has and has built up a great community of a lot of people. People like the game. They can do a lot of different things in the game. So Warframe isn't usually the most hardcore game for a lot of people. You can do hardcore runs too, though. So it does add that type of versatility if you want to go to level 9999 runs. So that can be thought of as endgame and looks like kind of the only true high-end level endgame. And so Warframe has something. Okay, Warframe has something. But it doesn't have true endgame. So I'm thinking thinking the First Descendant's also going to probably suffer from that issue, but I don't think it'll be so popular that it can take out Warframe or anything silly like that. I just think a lot of people who play Warframe will probably take a break from Warframe, waiting for updates, and just play this casually. Some people love it and swap over to it, some people won't, some people will hate it, you know? It's always a mixed bag. No one will love every game out there. People are a little crazy if they think you should, and if people think like their game's the best or their game is the like amazing and no one should think it's bad. Yeah, they're crazy too, right? Like Warframe has a lot of negatives about it. Destiny has a lot of negatives about it. Sunsetting, lol, get fucked. That's hilarious to me. God, poor content being just straight taken away for a lot of people. Oh well. So many games have many issues, but they still are good games with a big fan base behind them and a lot of players. Always gonna be a fun time seeing if people can keep up with this game though in that regard, or if it'll fall flat. I do think it has enough like versatility in the first little bit, and the modding in the game will be the same as Warframe. So for people who aren't aware of Warframe or like play other looter shooters and aren't huge Warframe fans, maybe they'll end up liking this because it's easier to understand than Warframe, like very easy to understand comparatively, and it guides you through everything pretty properly, and it's more simplified right now for sure. So that might actually end up being a net huge positive for this comparative to Warframe, because yeah, Warframe's not a simplified game for a lot of stuff. The tutorials a lot of people say are the worst, but we're gonna have to wait and see, because we don't know how the general like gameplay population will really see this game. It'll be the first like 6 months where most likely we'll know how the general popularity of the game has gone, because the first month or two of a release are always pop and do great, right? People are playing the game, play through the game, beating the game. But then after that, it's the question, right? Is the game going to keep being somewhat popular and playing well within the player's hands? Since this is free to play, it will rely on people constantly playing, right? The one thing that Destiny has is it can actually allow a lot of player drop-offs here and there. It has like constant stuff like battle passes, but it can allow drop-offs too because people will buy DLC. Or on the other hand, Warframe has DLC type things with Prime Access, so they just do DLC differently in a sense, and they just do more free-to-play content drops in a timely manner that you can buy, but not necessarily something you'll ever need. So every game does monetization a little differently. I think this one will do it a little more like Warframe. Buy like loot, buy boosters, buy primes, buy Warframe skins, speed through everything, buy more slots, buy just, yeah, ease of access, quality of life type stuff. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see, but I don't think it's going to be a Warframe killer, and I don't think it's going to be a Destiny killer. I think if anything kills Warframe, it'll be Warframe developers just not being able to make Warframe as good as it could be, or not keep up with the times. Same with Destiny. If anything kills Destiny, it's them breaking and ruining their own game and not keeping up with what players want. That's generally how it goes. Another game will not kill your game, because as long as your game is good, people will play your game along with that other game. So as long as Warframe and Destiny are good, people continue playing them, as well as people playing the First Descendant if it is also good. Either way, that's my take. Let me know what you think. Like, check out all the other content. I just wanted to make this video because everyone is talking about Warframe, the Destiny killer. Are these the Warframe Destiny killer? The First Descendant? Will it kill him? Probably not, but again, yeah, we'll wait and see. Thank you, and I will see you next time. Peace.